Welcome back, Patreon members. This comes that now we get raw and uncut.
Niggers.
Whoa. Everyone's like, I was expecting that out of him, not.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Dude, I was, I don't know. It's like you're a very easy person to talk to. It's kind of weird.
It's a curse.
Oh, yeah. I I believe it because, like, what do you call it? The shine.
Mm-hmm.
You get the shine sometimes. But, like, I don't know. It's like, but, like, you have a way of, like, when someone's talking to you, like, you will say something and then, like, they have to go back and think. And, like, you'll be sitting there, like, for days being like, fuck, that really hit me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm like special in any kind of way. I just think about the same shit that you guys be thinking about, and I think I've thought about it for a very long time. So like, offering perspective, I think that's important. I think it's an important thing whenever you're being friends with anybody, is like the connection thing we were talking about earlier. It's like how I connect to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I can't say I know for certain how everybody thinks and feels, but like I've been in positions like you guys, and I've been like, that doesn't feel fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so like I don't know, it feels good to hear that coming from somebody, or to like hear somebody think about or tell you or give you a perspective on something that, like, because you're in like the frying pan or something, you're not immediately aware of. You know what I mean? Long life of being a fool.
Yeah, and it's like there's just some people that are just easy to talk to. Like, and you just have some friends like that. There's some friends you can talk to, and then there's other friends that'll roast the fuck out of you.
I'm both.
One of those was Lurker. Yeah, you were both. You're like the flip side of the coin. Which one am I getting today?
Depends on what you're giving me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'll be honest, there's some days I'm just retarded. Like, I woke up just doing dumb shit for no reason.
All of us get there, and you should be told that you're dumb sometimes.
Oh, yeah. It's because it prevents you from being dumb the next time.
Yeah.
Because you're like, wait a minute, I got roasted the fuck out of last time. I'm not doing this again.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes getting the piss taken out of you by your boys, pause, is is like a good thing. You know what I mean? It's good to be told that, like, hey, that's dumb. That's stupid as hell. That what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always struggle with it sometimes because, like, I can't tell when people are joking, which is weird when you try to do comedy because you're trying to, like, learn, but then you also, like, somebody will say something, you're like, there was a hint of truth in that. I didn't like that.
Well, yeah, there's
like it was almost like a dig, almost like it wasn't like a friendly thing.
Oh, well, yeah. There's what's it call it? Sometimes that's how people play. I don't necessarily enjoy playing that way because I don't like thinking about, you know what I mean? Like, whenever somebody says something to me and a part of it sticks in my head, I'm just like, shit.
Yeah.
But 9 times out of 10, this isn't true for everybody. Okay, I'm only speaking from my own perspective. Whenever things like that like stick with me, it's because I already feel that way. I'm already thinking that way, and like, or a fear of mine is that as a person like perceiving me that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just gotta learn how to not give a shit so much. You know what I mean? I'm trying my best. I am. It still gets me sometimes. You know what I mean? Like the other day, a comedian was just like, we were having like a big conversation. He was like, yeah, there's tons of people waiting. Like, he's talking to somebody else. There's tons of people waiting for you to like fuck up. And they turned and like their eyes shot at me. And I was just like, ooh, well, that's not how I feel. You know what I mean? But that person doesn't know me. You know what I mean? They don't know what I'm about and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I can't take it personally. I can't be like, oh, that's motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I watch people do that all the time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, me and you are buddies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to roast you harder than you can handle. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. You
Right.
know what I mean? And, like, I think you can distinctly feel whenever someone's trying to hurt you.
Oh yeah, there's certain ones like they'll say something and like you'll be like, you're just trying to make me look bad in front of everybody. Like I know that's what you're doing, and you're trying to make yourself look good, and I feel it. Like you know what I mean? It's like, and then they wonder like, how come you don't want? How come you don't talk to me? Like you don't like me or something? I'm like,
no,
I'll let you figure that one out.
I enjoy telling people.
Yeah,
I like being like, I don't like you.
The problem is I try to be friendly with everybody, and I don't like confrontation.
No, I get that.
Which sucks, only because I don't know how to deal with it.
But it's like, I don't like confrontation either.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what I don't like more is being around people that I don't enjoy being around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That make me feel bad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, I would rather be uncomfortable for like a moment than be uncomfortable for like years or months.
Like there was something that happened at a mic, and screw it, people have to pay to watch this. I can say it. I was a getaway one time, and there was a couple there, and I guess they got kicked out of the bar, and they were like making big stink, and then like went after one of the comics on stage. Was like trying to like intimidate him, and like in my head, I've always like I watched a lot of westerns and stuff, and I'm having in my head like superheroes, vigilante justice. I'm gonna walk over and stop this, and I didn't. I sat there in my seat. Because I could fit, and it just felt real tight in my chest. And then like after it all like went off and it was done, and they walked out the door, I felt I hated myself. But then I was like, if I were to go and stand up and say something, with the way things are today, you don't know if this person's going to shoot you, stab you, what. So it's like I don't know what to do here, because like you're torn in two directions.
Well, I don't think that, I mean, in all likelihood, it's very rare that somebody would just pop off and shoot you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, how many times have you seen someone brandish a gun in, like, your life in, like, a defensive or offensive way?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've had the vibe. If that makes sense. Like, I've been in situations before, like for instance, here's one. So I was at this after hours bar in Pittsburgh, and there was a shady deal going down. All right, let's put it that way. And I was like off in the distance, away, and they did not like me. They did like, who is that?
Who's this guy staring at us doing our drug deal?
Basically, and of course, I apparently have cop vibes.
All things considered, rational response.
Right. But like, I was one of those like, I'm giving you money. Like, I'm the one paying you. Like, you think I'm like, but I was like, also like, I guess it's because I don't have that mentality. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have that thought of I'm going to try and get somebody kind of thing. Like, so it doesn't register for me kind of thing.
Well,
but like I was in a spot where it was like, oh, this could be like I could just feel the whole energy of the room change. And it was very much like, I need to get out of here.
I think you're amplifying what was actually happening. I think that these people were unsure of you, okay, which is a natural thing if you're doing something shady.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody's going to shoot you over like $100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless they're poor. Unless they're very, very poor.
Yeah.
And if they're in an after-hours club trying to do what they're trying to do, they're not that poor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that, like... And I think it's good to not like confrontation. You know what I mean? I don't think that that's, like, our modus operandi for, like, existing and stuff. I think it's necessary, though. I think that confronting people and telling people, like, hey, that's wrong, and, like, don't do that, I don't like that, is ultimately the right thing to do, because, like, a lot of these people, and you've seen them, a lot of these people walk around and say and do things like nothing bad's ever happened to them ever. Okay? They're the most afraid of confrontation because they can't handle it past the initial contact. Okay, they pop off, they yell, they scream and shit, and they're trying to do all they can to scare you away from a rational argument that'll defeat their mindset.
Yeah.
Okay, and like understanding that, and like, I don't know, understanding that you're doing the right thing kind of will eliminate most of the fear in doing that. You know what I mean? Because you're not wrong. That feeling in your chest, it's like, do something. That's like, that's you understanding like an inequality or an injustice that's happening. And like, it takes a lot to accept that feeling, but it also, to put it in perspective, it takes a lot to accept and act on that feeling. It's the same exact amount of energy that you're using to restrain yourself from doing it. You know what I'm saying? So if you're already exhausting that amount of energy, I would rather do something that would make me feel better about myself than something that would make me look at myself like I should have done something. You know what I mean? And to have missed that and to understood and internalize that means that you're like, your heart's in the right place. You know what I mean? And like, confrontation isn't for everybody, and it's not for every situation. But whenever you feel that, let it filter through your mind a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But like, you can feel whenever your mind is catastrophizing something. You know what I'm saying? It feels almost like whenever you're about to go off of a roller coaster. Like whenever you're...
That's what I'm saying. Like there was a tightness in my chest. Like it almost felt like something wants to come out.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, but it's also like so tight.
Yeah, because
like you're afraid to go.
Yeah, because you're restraining yourself from doing it because you don't know what the outcome will be.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And like, but you control the outcome. You control how you respond and act. Okay, people can't really escalate if you don't allow them to.
And there's
Not
like,
to say you should run up to people with guns and be like, "Stop! Don't do that."
Yeah, but like, there's times it's like I'm thinking to myself like, what if I handle this wrong? Like, because I just like I'm the person. It's like for some reason, every time you try to do something on your own, it ends up like completely falling apart and actually makes the situation way worse.
But it's because that happens because you put yourself in a position that you're unsure about. And you're unsure about it because you don't put yourself in that position often. You know what I mean? You have to trust yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You trust yourself to go up and tell jokes.
Yeah.
You've seen it go good and you've seen it go bad. So, like, and you still decide to do it. So, like, it's the same thing. You can tell jokes so heinous that somebody comes up and punches you in your face. That has happened to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? That can't be a deterrent. You know what I'm saying? Just like choosing any path in life. It's brave that you choose to do this. You know what I'm saying? That you follow your heart in this. This could all blow up. We could both be homeless. We could both just be absolutely fucked on, okay? Because we decided to chase a thing. But that's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? You're controlling a lot of the outcome by being consistent and like continuing to put yourself out there and to continue to like do it regardless of how good or bad it makes you feel in the moment. That's confrontation in itself. You're confronting yourself every time that you do that. You know what I mean? And like, it is hard whenever you're confronting other people, but you confront crowds of people and you try to make them laugh. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so like, going up to somebody and telling them like, hey, stop. You know what I'm saying? What are they going to do? Make me. I'm going to talk you all the way out of this. Okay. Because I mean, if you want to fight, you're going to lose your freedom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if they're fighting me, I'm going to change your life. I'm going to change your life. Okay. I'm going to change how you see and feel things. Okay. Yeah. But like, And that's not what I want.
I think it's just like in my head. Like I grew up seeing all like these strong figures and stuff, and it's like you want to be that, but you know you're not that.
Who's telling you that you're not?
No, like it's like for instance, like I haven't been in a fight in my life,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't want to be. But then a part of me is thinking, like, you know, in your head, you watch so many movies and stuff, and you've done so many things where you're like, yeah, I could probably win a fight. You've never been in one. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah, but
and I just know that's like, if I was in a fight, I'm probably going to get my ass kicked.
Most people haven't been in fights. A lot of people haven't been in a real fight. Most fights last less than 30 seconds. You shove each other a bunch. You go, fuck you.
Yeah.
You go, fuck you.
And I'm one of those, like, in my head, I know I'm playing for keeps.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to fight, if you're trying to fight me, like, buddy, if I see your knee, I'm probably going to smash it. I don't care with how much it hurts you or how much you're going to sue me later. Like, I'm doing whatever I can to get out of this fight.
I think you think about that. I think you think not only about the physical and bodily damage you get. I think you think like, oh my, what if I win and they sue me?
No, I think about like, what if I really hurt somebody? Like, I don't want like, don't get me wrong. I think there's some people that bad things should happen
but
to.
If someone's being aggressive to you,
yeah,
and is trying to hurt you, okay, and you end up hurting them.
And especially if it's somebody I know, too.
Yeah, but that's a consequence of that sort of behavior, okay? And it's not, you're not an initiator. You don't initiate this sort of shit. You know what I'm saying? Those dudes that you look up to, okay, those badasses you see on TV and on movies and shit, they're not the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you to stop. Most of them are like, I don't want trouble. Or, I don't want trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and then somebody brings trouble to them.
Yep.
Okay, which brings trouble to them. Okay, and like stern talking tos beat the shit out of a whole lot more men than fists. You know what I mean? Being like, don't do that.
That's true, because my dad used to tell me stories like, you know, and of course, you know, it's your dad, but like my dad never is one to exaggerate or anything. So he was like, he remembers like some guy was like talking to him weird in a bar, and he goes, I see him go in the bathroom. I just followed him in there, and I just said, you're going to shut your mouth, or I'm going to shut your mouth in front of your buddies, and then you get to be embarrassed. Is that what you like? And he goes, after that, he goes, I didn't hear from him the whole night. And he goes, all I did was talk very calmly. He goes, and let him know. He goes, he was mad that he got talked to, but I was like, yeah, and he's like, but then he's also telling me, he's like, you know, defend yourself.
Yeah, always.
But don't be looking for a fight.
Yeah. And so, like...
Then I had my mother talking to me, and she's like, you don't ever fight back, even if someone's attacking you. And I'm like...
That's... No, man. Defend yourself.
Well, when you have religious parents, like I remember in school, like, there were some kids I should have knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, and
I didn't, because I was...
People thought Jesus came to bring peace. He came to flip tables. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
Well, I mean, and so that's the thing is, like, people misread that because everybody sees the whole like Jesus flipping tables part and they're like, see, Jesus was cool with violence. I'm like, understand the context of this. They were doing business in the temple.
Yeah.
Like, which is a great offense. That's why, like,
but that's what I mean. So, like, look at it esoterically. Okay. So, like, somebody is trespassing. Mm-hmm. Okay. We ask for forgiveness for our trespasses, okay? What happens whenever you don't? You get punished.
Yeah.
Okay? And sometimes we're tools for people's lessons, okay? Sometimes, and that's why a lot of people walk around like there's no moral, okay? Mm-hmm. Because, like, sometimes, man, and I don't like to do it, fighting people and being angry and stuff, that shit makes me feel ugly. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's an ugliness.
That's why I don't like it. It's like I feel that way when I get mad about something. I don't like being angry.
But like watching someone be ugly and use their ugliness and inflict it on others, I won't have it. I won't have it. And you will stop or you'll meet mine. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's all it is. And like, do I feel guilty about hurting people in this situation? Of course. I'm not a monster. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I won't be intimidated by anybody. My friends will not be intimidated by meager words and weak threats and shit backed up by spines that can't hold bodies. Okay? Like, I won't have that. Those people need to walk right. Okay? They need to step right. Okay? And if they don't, there's consequences for that. And like, to what level is what level you want to bring it to. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't want to go beyond words.
Yeah.
Very few. Okay, you got to find a dumb, crazy person to be like, I'm going to shoot you. You know what I'm saying? Over like a disagreement that isn't like hundreds of millions of dollars. You know what I mean? Oh, you get kicked out of the bar. You're going to talk crazy to this person who's just trying to do something fun for themselves, do something fulfilling for themselves. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and it's like there was like more like to how I was feeling because like this is a tough one because like I'm fighting that thought too of trying to be authentic
Were you
because
super attracted to this person who's getting
no, I was not. No, but it was like, so I grew up with these beliefs, and then you meet people that go against your beliefs, like how they how they live their life. To you was always told like that's wrong. That's the word, like a horrible thing, and things like that. But it's also like I have this where I meet people, and I get to know the person, and it's like, yeah, I don't like, you know, maybe not. I don't want to say I don't approve of their lifestyle.
We're not supposed to agree with everything
you know
that
what
everybody
I mean?
does, but like at the end of the day, these people are people. They still, and like, it's not for us to judge them. It's not our job. You know what I'm saying? We're observers. That's our purpose in this life.
Yeah.
It's up there. It's all that. That's judgment. That's for judgment. Okay. All these people, lost or not lost, or however you believe them to be, like, they're just people.
Yeah.
They're just looking. They're looking to be loved and accepted like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like, see how you connect to somebody in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know that that's what they're after. You know the truth of their heart. You know what I'm saying? So like, what they do, as long as they're not hurting nobody.
And I try to have like honest conversation with people like this, like how like this is. So like there's times like where I've talked to somebody that, you know, like that was the case, and I'm like trying to be authentic, but I'm also trying not to get canceled when I say things.
But see, like, I think
that's what I'm having a problem with.
Okay, and so the fear, it's the fear of consequence, man. You have to be able to meet people where you're at and talk to them earnestly, even about your misunderstandings and misgivings about them.
Yeah.
Okay, and like, so like, a thing that I don't like that comics do all the time to me is like, they will come up, they'll be comfortable with me, they'll say like a really offhanded like black people joke, and like, not only did you like kind of overstep with the black person joke, you're trying to like prop yourself up as like, oh, that's not who I am, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you're doing all this posturing afterwards. See, like, that leads one to believe that you're hiding something deeper and more gross. Okay.
Okay.
So like, I mean, again, that's just from my perspective. You know what I'm saying? So like, whenever you're like earnest about it, you know what I'm saying, and then you earnestly apologize, you're like, oh shit, like, I just didn't know. You know what I mean? You're gonna get pushback, okay? Because a lot of people who live any kind of lifestyle are like, well, how don't you know? Well, we don't live in the same bubble, okay? No matter how big it is, everybody's living in some kind of bubble,
Right.
okay? And the thing that like helps bubbles join and not pop, okay, is integrity, okay? And so you have integrity in your bubble about like, let me hear what you have to say, strange person. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like that's how I like to be. Is like, I would like to talk to people. It's like, even though this person maybe didn't grow up the same way I did or feel the same way I feel, I want to see what their viewpoint was.
Yeah.
And people are like, and I know, like, I would get pushback from, I don't have the time to go into it because the timers get ready to go off because I want to go into it. I was going to save it for the next part. But, like I would get pushback from the people that I grew up with because, hey, what they're doing is wrong. I'm like, yeah, they may be doing what's wrong, but they're still a person.
Yeah, and
I was like, how? It's like, I can separate the two, but can you?
No, and we have to stop seeing it as like, so like, we give bad reputation to things that are like base in nature, what we're attracted to and stuff, because we think that people are supposed to be attracted to a certain thing. Okay, if you're not fucking kids, okay, you're doing better than some,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And like, all the rest of that shit is a stressful thing that you have to kind of figure out in the most vulnerable point of your life, is like you're a teenager. Okay. And because we all figure these things out in that time, we're very sensitive about it. And a lot of people's opinions are tied to their egos. And whenever those things are questioned, okay, it sends them into a state of like, it's almost like ego death. They're like, oh, what the fuck? Everything I know is wrong. And so that's why these people like vehemently like will fight back about these things, and will go beyond what understanding is. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that happens to people on both sides. Okay. We aggrandize any lifestyle, any way of life, any path as it supersedes others.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have a tendency to look down our noses on somebody who doesn't live the same path. God wouldn't have given us a multitude of life and a multitude of choice, okay, if we weren't meant to all walk a path, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, if the path somebody walks with is, like, diametrically opposed to you, that's none of your fucking business now. Okay?
Exactly.
Now, unless they're hurting somebody, unless they're hurting people, okay, unless it's bringing anguish or unnecessary suffering to the world at large, there's no real reason to like intervene. And to understand it causing a greater disturbance in like maybe the rule or nature of man would require you to know more. Mm-hmm. You would need to know more to judge. Okay, and nobody knows dog shit about anything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I try to learn as much as I can. And you can't learn it just from the same four heads.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the same couple of books. So you have to explore them all and disseminate the truth between all of that. So there's a lot of paths that are alien to mine that like I'm like that's so fucking foreign to me. Okay. But like, you can still see a person as a person. You can still like respect them as such. Mm-hmm. Okay. And like, there are people that I don't like that I respect how they operate. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me to like. You know what I mean? And unless they're, again, like an op or somebody who's like in opposition to like what I stand for or like the greater good. Okay. That's just another motherfucker trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta check the camera real quick, and we'll be right back.
All right. Yeehaw.
Yeah, and we're back. Starting the timer. Yeah. You have this problem. Like, I want to be authentic, but I'm worried because of like my background is so polarizing. Like I grew up Jehovah's Witness
and gay.
I'm not gay, and
a little bit.
I mean, I think, isn't everybody a little bit gay?
Sure.
Yeah, so what if I like to design things? Leave me alone.
Oh, that's...
I was stereotypical gay.
Yes,
see what I mean?
See?
Joke doesn't land because I'm assuming it. Like,
but see, it's a lack of understanding.
Well, you know what? I was gonna say where it comes from is I'm a big movie guy.
Yeah.
And when you're a movie guy and your only experience to the outside world of the bubble you live in is through movies that play stereotypes.
Yeah.
So you assume every stereotype is an accurate depiction.
But you have to also understand that movies are works of fiction. They take like aspects of people and things and they dramatize them. You know what I'm saying? Like not every gay man is a design icon. Not every gay woman looks like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not, nothing is black and white. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is just what it is. And like that's like to explore the world earnestly is to remove expectation from like who you're meeting. These little like because everybody, I don't know what happened in like the last like decade, but everyone is like living under a label. Everybody is like this amount of things and that makes up their character, and it's not that case. It's like being black isn't the only thing about me. Being gay isn't the only thing about anybody else. You know what I'm saying? What we do is we create these little monoliths around one aspect of our personality. We attach our egos to it. And then whenever, like, every lifestyle has flaws. Every single one. Okay? Everything gets called into question. Okay? And to be able to, like, not dig so deeply into the well of emotion that you may feel because of your own personal struggles with what you are, or like how the world may see you, or however, you know what I'm saying? That's like it's like the more you understand, the less volatile you are about it. There are going to be people who must understand you.
Well, so I remember there was a time I was in Nashville once, and I come out of the bathroom, and when I drink, you've been around me when I drink. I'm a very friendly person when I drink, friendly with about pretty much with everything. So I come out of the bathroom and I see this one dude standing there. He's smoking a cigarette. I was like, I'll go talk to this guy, just strike up a conversation. I'm just that kind of person, and I was like, oh hey, like so what are you doing out for? And he's like. I was like, oh, I'm on vacation. I was like, what are you doing out? And he's like, oh, I'm with my fiance and his parents. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And like, you ever have that Tropic Thunder moment where someone says something that you weren't expecting and you're just like, oh, okay, cool. And then you're like, wait a minute, what? Like, I did that. Like, I was like, oh, okay, what? And he's like, is that a problem? I'm like, no. I said, I'll be honest with you. I said, you're probably the first gay person I ever met.
That's a crazy thing to say to somebody. I'm just going to say that.
Right. And I was drinking. I said, when I say that, I said, I'm sorry. I said, I did not mean for that to come out wrong. I said, I grew up in a very religious background. I'm not used to it. Mm-hmm. And I said, so it kind of threw me for a loop there. I said, I don't care. Like, do you like, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. And I was like, but then I was sitting there talking to him for a little bit, and I said, all right. I said, can I ask you a serious question? And I said, I don't mean this to come off wrong. I said, I'm just genuinely curious. And I was like, what makes you more into guys than you are women? Like, it's like, why is that? And he goes, he's like, he goes, you didn't overstep. He goes, I've always been that way. He goes, I did date girls for a while because I wasn't sure. He goes, but I've always kind of felt that way since I can remember. And I was like, it really opened my eyes to things because, like, again, you come from this background where it's like, you know, being gay is a sin, and if you're gay, like, which no one ever said that. They would just say being gay is a sin and moved on. Like, other people took that to like go after people, and it was like, no, calm down, chill. And like, I'm trying to think how to word it, but like, I don't know. After walking from walking away from that conversation, I was like, I understand some people's viewpoints more.
Yeah,
because
you're being compassionate to another person, man.
Yeah,
like, I don't know. In some religious texts, like touching yourself is a sin. Okay, I'm not sitting here judging every motherfucker I know jerks off. You know what I mean? How come that's a lot easier to process for others than like people copulating and shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, not to excuse any like actual real deviancy that's going out in the world right now, but like, I don't know, man. If you are acting in your whole heart, in the goodness and faith in like humanity and like whatever, and you happen to be like gay or whatever, I don't think that that really matters. I don't think that like who you love matters. Okay, I think it's important that you love in general. Okay, I think it's important that you do that. I think that it is important that we don't bleed our own sensibilities over on other people, because we've only experienced this like little part of the world for this little bit of time. We don't really understand, like nobody really knows what the truth is. Okay, and I'm not saying that as a cop out. I'm saying to understand the truth, you have to understand each other. Okay, and there are people who are like on a path again that are separate than ours, that's different because of genetic predisposition, choice, location, religious background, all that stuff. Okay, but like to dismiss people, to villainize them, okay, in any capacity, I don't know. I think it shows like a lack of understanding. The people that like, and there's not a singular group of individuals that I don't like. Okay, there's behaviors that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? There is perhaps a biased morality index that I go by, that once I feel that somebody is going against that in a moral sense, that feels like an affront to me, I can't deal with them. I can't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that's usually people like behavior I deem bad, like hurting people, lying, you know what I'm saying? Not being irresponsibility, recklessness, you know what I'm saying? That goes beyond race, creed, color, sexual orientation. Like if you're a bad person, I don't care if you're like in a wheelchair. You're bad.
Yeah.
You're bad. And I'll push you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I have compassion for what one would conceive as an enemy or whatever, but I don't believe in those either. You know what I mean?
So how I reasoned it with my head, like in my head, like judging, and like I'm only going off of what like I grew up with. You know what I mean? So like it's like, wow, like I'm trying to think how to word this. Like to me, how I grew up with it, or what I grew up with, was that like Adam and Eve were like, God created Adam and Eve like two perfect people, and then like once they sinned, they lost it. Like
See,
that's what I grew up with.
I believe that that's a misinterpretation.
Now when I say perfect, I don't mean perfect in behavior. I'm talking about like perfect as in like you can use your brain exactly how how your brain was meant to be used. You are peak physical health. Like basically wherever your peak is, you stay that for the rest of your life.
I think that we were more akin to animals whenever we were like that. Eating the tree of knowledge gave us the knowledge that God had of the world, which is why we fell. Okay? Falling is noticing that suffering permeates everything on this imperfect world. Okay? That the animals that we named and watched live would kill each other to survive. Okay? That to pluck a flower out of the ground to give it to your lover is causing some degree of suffering on the earth. That loving things, that creating life is both a beautiful and horrific process. It's showing you the truth of things. You know what I mean? And see, like, the burden of truth on many minds creates division. Okay, so like people believe that they want to be right, but they go about purity impurely. Okay, you can't brutalize people and cast them out if you want them to all behave and be kind and be good. You have to show them kindness and goodness and fairness. Okay, but you also have to be prepared to fuck some people up.
It's like I remember there was and like I'm not bad mouthing anybody in particular.
Yeah.
I'm not bad mouthing any group of people. I'm talking about my personal experience with certain people.
Yeah.
And my buddy's mom was helping like some people that were in need.
Mm-hmm.
And there was people who were in the church, like higher up, that were bashing her because she was doing that. And they said, you're making us look bad because we don't do that. And I'm thinking like, did you understand what you just said?
No.
I was like, did you understand that? What you just said and how fucking stupid you are for saying that? Like that and like I said, I grew up in the same area for years. And that bothered me so bad. Because one, like my buddy's mom was like my second mom.
Yeah.
And to know that that's what they're doing. And like there was no consequence for it.
No.
None.
But see, that's
and
what so like.
And like I can't. And like the problem is like people were like, why didn't you go up and say something then? One, I wasn't there. I heard about it secondhand from my friend. And his mother told me. And also like if I was to say something, the backlash I get from that is that I'm exiled because you have a bad attitude. You don't have a Christian attitude, so you can't be around here. Which, it's a fair argument. I'll give you that. But also at the same time, you don't see where your attitude is wrong.
No,
like,
they don't.
And I look at things like maybe I don't go about things the proper and the right way. But I'm trying really hard to be good. I try to treat everyone with the same respect that I want to be treated.
Yeah.
So I try not to, like, that's why I'm bad at roasting. I try not to make fun of people because I don't like being made fun of. Even though I know, like, in your head, like, yeah, it's just your friends joking around. It's like, but no, I feel like one time I'm going to say something to a friend because I've done that where you say something to a friend, it blows up and then turns into something bigger.
Do you ever think that your apprehension to do these things is part of the reason why whenever you do them, they kind of go cattywampus?
I think so, but then there's also times where I do try it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I feel like there's, like, a whole lot of concern and thinking even whenever you are trying these things. So, like I don't know. Like, whenever I roast people, I think that I come off in a way that, like, I'm fucking with you. I'm just playing. You know what I mean? Even if I'm, like, saying something kind of intense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's because, like, I think in, like, my mannerisms, I think in, like, how I'm saying the thing. Like, I'm like...
And I don't mean to interrupt you on this, on your point. I just also want to say how good you are at it. Like, the creative shit that you come up with, like, I think that's the biggest intimidating factor. I see, like you, Scriva, and the stuff that you guys can fire back as a comeback, and I'm like, I'm not even going to fight this battle. Because it's like, I was a
sensitive young boy, okay? I was a sensitive, small young boy, okay, who, like, liked things that other people thought were, like, lame or gay or whatever. Okay, and like people would try to make fun of me all the time. But the thing is, whenever you like write poetry and you're like thinking about words and shit all the time, you're like, oh, you ugly bitch. You know what I mean? Like it comes out. And like what I notice a lot is like everyone goes through it the same way. Whenever you first start doing that to people because it's uncomfortable, you don't know how to gauge it, so you're just like, all right, is my blaster on stun or kill? You know what I'm saying? And people just be killing each other. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I've been to King of the Castle. Like I said, there was everybody's like, "How does it feel?" I'm like, "Well, as like the first time I did it, I said I wanted to put a gun in my mouth."
Yeah, and
Because like I said, like, everybody was like, I don't know what it is about the King of the Castle shows. Like every time I've gone up, like, did you ever see an audience like?
no, like it looks like they're on the edge of their seat and they're ready to rip you up.
Only me. I ever felt that way. There's other people I see it. Like other people I see it not so much, but when you go up, you feel it way more.
Like sitting on the panel and you watch certain people go up, I can see whenever people's wheels are turning and shit. Okay, and like people being real hungry to say something to somebody. You know what I mean? And so like it's not just you. It really isn't. And like there are people like I think that like Blake is a hard person to roast. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? But like I love roasting people, and every time like him and like Adam are like every time I have to go and say something about them, it makes my brain feel like off center a little bit. Like anything that I'm saying wouldn't feel true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or it would feel like I'm. Sometimes whenever you reach, it feels like you're being mean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and like that's what I mean. I'm like what to do? You know what I'm saying? And like I live with Justin. You know what I'm saying? I see shit he does all the time that I'm just like, I'm gonna bring this up to you. You know,
dude, you called me the one day. This was after our podcast. I'll let you tell the story.
What?
When you called me after the podcast. Or wait, I don't know if that's a story we should tell or not.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, Justin did my podcast.
Yeah.
And like was drinking.
Okay.
And he came home, and then you called me the moment he came home. Because you're like, Justin said something when he walked through the door. You're like, do you believe he would do that?
Oh.
And I said, yes.
Oh.
I said 100% I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
I was like, they've got to pay for it.
But that's true. That's absolutely true. I mean, somebody has a joke about it. Like finding friendship is somebody you can be incorrect with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, dude, we're both mixed black dudes. Sometimes a guy will call you a nigger for no reason. For no reason. Okay. For no reason. Okay.
And I'm not laughing at the fact.
No, it's funny.
It's funny that Justin.
Yeah, the whole thing is funny. It's hilarious. But like, yeah. Okay, like, but like that's what I mean. Like certain people, you have a certain like comfortability with. You know what I'm saying? So you can, and like, not to say that I don't feel comfortable with Blake or with Adam. It's just like with them, it's like harder for me to find something like off that's like funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one time Pradeep was trying to roast me. He goes, "You are a sad man inside," and I was just like, "That's hurtful. That's like hurtful as shit." You know what I'm saying? And like, I know what he was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to hurt me, but like, damn, dog, like that's like a deep cut that like. How am I supposed to even respond to that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that's the one thing I kind of like. If I'm like, oh no, it's like that. Like sometimes I will get too comfortable and I will say some shit and I'll be like, oh.
Yeah, there was a couple of times I was like, when like you went up and I was like, I don't know if I should. I can't get him because the only thing that pops in my head, Marv from Home Alone. As like Joe Pesci, like the way, like because the hat, and I was just like, that's all I kept thinking of the whole time.
Okay,
and I was
you
like,
got to build off of that, though.
Yeah.
You got to build something off of that, and like that's not a bad one. And like I think that there's plenty of like really benign things you could say about somebody that can count as a roast and are very funny.
Yeah, and my thing is like the best one is like every time someone tries to do a fat one for me, it falls flat because I'm like, first of all, I've heard every fat joke there is. Like there's like I went to high school. I'm good. Like I think even by high school someone would call you fat and you're like, oh, good one. Like
yeah, you're like, oh, okay.
We dealt with this in elementary and middle school, and I guess we're in high school and it's still not
finding a unique one is good always, though. I like it whenever someone hits me with something that I'm like, oh, like I think every time I've ever
Austin had some good ones.
Yeah, I think every time I've ever roast battled somebody, they've brought up something about me trying to sell my mixtape. Okay, and it's just like, oh, I was a rapper once.
Yeah.
I'm now a comedian, and I'm beating your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so now you're trying to sell your special.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
hey, I got my comedy special.
yeah, but like that's what I mean. Like everyone being like I think every heavy woman has heard, oh, you wore flip flops for those high heels whenever you started or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but like that's what I mean. Like it can get kind of lame whenever it's just like, oh, I'm a black guy. Oh, you got me.
Yeah.
Not like I've been one my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, dude, I think roasting is like, see, love languages is like a stupid thing, but like it's a form of affection. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like, and like, I understand it to a degree. It makes me sad sometimes that people have a hard time like roasting me. You know what I mean? And I get it. I'm a normal nigga. I'm a very normal seeming person.
Yeah, it's like it's hard to like pick apart without like it's like if you do say something's like I'm gonna be mean. I don't want to do that.
See,
either.
it feels like you're reaching.
Yeah,
and that's what I mean. Like to my mind, those two are like, I guess like we're like a very similar wavelength. You know what I'm saying? So like my brain's just like I
got nothing. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, again, you should check out me and Adam Schroeder's roast battle on Roast Battle Cleveland's Instagram page. It's very good. But like, it was hard. It was like genuinely very hard to roast my friend. But then like I come up with like Chuck. You know what I'm saying? It's fun for me and him to go back and forth with each other. Like, he's hands down my favorite person I've ever, like, went into a roast battle with. I have a ton of fun with him every single time.
Dude, he went up, there was that show, The Royal Mumble, last year, and, like, it was, like, down between Chuck and another comic, and Chuck just kept firing out jokes. Like, they couldn't knock him out. Like, they were just like, dude, like...
You can't. He's good.
Yeah, I was like, he was so like he just had one after another. And I'm like, I would have ran out after 5. Like I would have been tapped at this point. Like, and he just kept going. I was like, man, like I was impressed. And I was like, it says a lot about like how good he is.
No, yeah, a lot of like he's not to glaze, but we're gonna do it. I don't care.
I would glaze all my friends. I don't care. That's
but
why
like,
I always tell.
Like out of all of us. Okay, save for like the dudes who've been doing it for a very, very long time and shit. Like Chuck is the one that like whenever like I see him go up, it like makes my wheels start moving. You know what I'm saying? Like how he was at I think out of all of us at the skate show. Okay, he had the best. His fucking set was so good.
Oh yeah,
it was so goddamn good.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you had a pretty good one.
I had a gimmick though.
Yeah, but you were crushing before the gimmick started. So.
Yeah, but like,
and then like the gimmick also like you could just play off of that, which was enough to give you more ammo.
And it's just like, bro, like it's like every time I see him, I'm like, Jesus Christ, you know what I'm saying? Like coming from like skateboarding and like parkouring and doing like physical stuff, it's like seeing somebody do a trick you've been trying to like work on for a really long time. You're like, holy fuck.
You know, if I'm being honest, it's like you and Nick make me feel that way because like Nick still haven't been doing it that long.
Nick is another person that does that for me too, because Nick will take a concept that is so bizarre and weird and like, and then form it into like a very rational thought. And then you're like, what the fuck? How did we get here? How did we even get here?
Dude, his ace of spades line, like that gets me. I told him I was like, never say anything else other than that. That is the funniest. Like
the joke he has about kindergarten and
oh
like,
yeah,
and like proposing to like your crush and shit. That is one of the best jokes I have ever heard in my life. Also, he has a joke where he's just like, yeah, we really fucked up inventing like pants, because before pants, we just call like before pants, if you shit yourself, you just shit. It was just shit. You never just shit your pants. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that
it makes you mad because you're like, why didn't I think of this?
and that's
Like,
what I'm
'cause
saying.
you're
It's like so, like it's such a good, just A to B thought. It's so good. All right, and like jokes like that stay in my head for like a really long time because I have to do like this big wind up to get to like my fucking punchline, and like that's just it's so
I know, but, like,
silly and fun.
you're so fun to watch though, because it's like you almost start off like, I'm gonna tell you a story, and like it just goes into this wild tale, and like it's sometimes just the mannerisms, like that. Oh, like that cracks me up, just because it's the way it's said that. Oh,
Yeah, it's like my onomatopoeia or whatever.
yeah,
That's what like. That's what I mean.
like when Scriva does, you'll notice this. Like for instance, like I told Josh, I was like, never mind, I'm gonna pick on Josh, but Scriva does this thing when he doesn't stand up, where he'll walk up and he'll just look around like this. You ever see him do that? Like that cracks me up, just because it's the way when he's saying something, he's doing that, setting it up. It just makes me lose it for some reason.
I like see the thing I like about him is like it doesn't seem like even if it's a joke I've heard him tell a bunch of times, it seems like it always feels like he's just coming up with it. You know what I'm saying? It feels like he's kind of just having like a conversation with like 100 people at a time. You know what I mean? And like how he kind of jumps from one thing to the next thing and still one congruent thought. You know what I mean? That he's really cool to watch for that. Like, because it seems loose. It seems like he's just fucking around, but like this is like a very manicured thing that he's doing.
Yeah,
Is that your thing?
yeah, it's timer going off.
All right, I think that might be it.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, guys, we'll wrap it up there.
All of our friends are good. You should check them all out on all the things.
Yes. Also, I'll include the links in the episode for you. I got you.
Cool.
All right, guys, it's been our episode. See ya.
Bye, niggers.